Vacation, Laurie Kilmartin.
We're doing it. I'm in New York.
Yay.
I'm surprised you're not here.
I'll be there. I'll be there right after you leave. That's how we arrange things. We're never in the same city ever. Where are you staying?
30th and Park at a hotel called the Mondrian.
Oh, that sounds expensive.
It does, and yet it isn't. Or is it? It might be, but I used a bunch of points. So,
okay.
And it does have a great deal of security. So it's, I really like it. And this room, they gave me a really nice room. I'm on a corner. So
sweet.
So it's big. And then I did a hotel art, and I also didn't notice that the carpeting looks like wood. So people should go to my Instagram if they want to see it.
That was really cool looking. Is it disconcerting for your feet to think they're about to step on wood and then it's soft?
That's what made me notice it. Because I was like, oh, it's going to be cold. Oh, no, it isn't. And which, of course, tells you that I don't have slippers, which makes me a gross traveler. I know.
Jackie, my life has changed dramatically since I started bringing my little UGG slippers. They're black slippers, so like on 2 show nights, I can wear them between shows and take off my boot heels. Even my wide boot heels cause me foot pain. And then I just it's like a little hugs for your feet. It feels so good. And then you're not on carpet ever, you know?
Right.
Hotel
then you're not ever on
disgusting.
hotel. Right. But then you put your slippers in with your luggage, and that's kind of gross.
Why is that gross?
Because they've been on the rug.
Jackie, you put them on the side. I mean, you're going to wash your clothes, right? Come on, man.
Yeah. They're still gross. Your slippers are as gross as your feet are, and I wash my feet. So I don't know. I'd put them in a bag if I were going to be the germaphobe that I'm never going to be. And
you're
that's
too
what
lazy
will kill me.
to be a germaphobe.
I am way too lazy to be a germaphobe.
You're not lazy. Yeah. You put your energy into other things. You would love to be a germaphobe, but you are so busy with your podcast. Yes.
Right. I like that you backpedaled and said, I'm not going to call you lazy.
No, I can't. In good conscience, I can't call you lazy.
Right. And so I will say this is that I have done, what did I do? I did Fargo, and then we talked about that, and I did Duluth. And then I went to Milwaukee and hung out with my family, and I did a guest set in Comedy on State for Shang Wang. And Shang Wang is awesome. He's great. The guy he brought to feature, Kevin Kamiya.
He's also a Bay Area guy. Kamiya, yeah.
Kamiya, that's it. And both of them are so delightful. Mm-hmm. Their stand-up is a gift to humanity, quite honestly.
Yeah.
And that was super fun. And then that was a guest that I did on Thursday. Friday, I did a Don't Tell in Chicago. And yep.
Tell all about it now.
It was in a lamp store in Chicago. And literally looked like in a building that looked like I was in Poland in 1981. It looked so Soviet bloc. And I talked to the woman who owned it, who came to the show. And there was a woman who wouldn't shut up for the first couple of comics. And Skylar was there. Skylar and I,
nice.
Right. The guy from After Midnight who did a guestie at the Comic of the Week show we did at Flappers last time. Yeah. Chicago Comic. He was in town.
He wrote for Conan as well. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And also the Onion. Yeah. He's got a hefty resume for a young man.
For a young man. And he was great. And then I went up, and by that time the woman who was drunk had shut up, but a woman had an episode when I was on stage, second row. As you can imagine, a comedy show in a lamp store, well lit. I can see everyone.
You don't want to see everybody. Not at all.
I don't. And but but she had like a weird episode where all of a sudden she was talking at this level to herself, but to an imaginary friend to her left or right. And I couldn't tell, like she might have taken like some sort of hallucinogenic or something.
Oh, I
But
see.
whatever it was, I said to her very gently, have you broken up into a discussion group amongst yourself? And she was like, who's talking to me? And I said,
Wow.
ooh, it's me. I'm sort of right in front of you with a mic. And she was like, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to this. And I was like, right. And then the bartender came up and I said, this is Erickson. Erickson's maybe going to get you some help or something. She was like, I have to pee. And he said, I can show you where the bathroom is. And he escorted her very sweetly somewhere else. And then her friend picked up her bag and followed her. And then they left the show. But it turns out there's, in better news, there's two Don't Tell shows in Chicago. One on Friday, one on Saturday. And then there's one Don't Tell show in Milwaukee on Friday. And I wish one of those would be on a Thursday or a Sunday.
Okay. How is that better news? I don't.
In better news, just in comedy, business news. Yes.
But how? So I mean, it sucks because you can't. That's not any kind of crowd work anyone wants to see or do because you're kind of concerned for the person. Especially if it's very clear they're not right.
Yeah,
mentally.
you could not clip that out and put that. By the way, hilarious. The work you're putting into those clips is epic. And they're a delight to behold.
It takes so long, Jackie. It
They're
takes
so
so
good.
long.
Yeah, I bet.
Just taking out all the little extra me talking over and them talking over, so it's just clear.
Right,
but
and then captioning, and then but it is gorgeous.
Thank you. Yeah. Well. Then I saw, because I had this one that's like 2 minutes long, and then there was like there's so many, I don't know, I followed one person giving tips on Instagram, and now every ad is like Instagram tips you didn't know. But there's a lady like it's YouTube. It's a YouTube lady who's like Instagram for women over 50. I'm like, you know what? Let's target. Yes, I'll join you. And so she, I guess you can, if you make it a post, you can upload a longer video, like I was able to upload a 2-minute video, and it'll show up on your Reels grid anyway. So I did that today. But how was the rest of your set? Like, what did she do this early in your set or later? And were you able to recover? And do you have?
Yes, because it's just a 25 minute. 25 minute set. So it was okay. And I'm not filming any of this. So you're
not going to post it?
No, I didn't even audio record it, quite honestly. It was snowing. I had just driven almost 2 hours to Chicago. I had to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours back and my flight was at 8 a.m. So I had to return the car at 6. And I just spent many days with my family, who I love dearly. And so, funny thing is I'm working on this carjacking bit about my dad. And I was talking to my brother Russ about it. He said, no, he punched those guys and he got the car back. And I said, I don't remember my dad to my knowledge, that guy just drove away. And Russ is like, no, he beat those 2 kids up when he was 75. And so then I double checked with my dad and he goes, absolutely not. They drove away with that car. And
isn't it weird how we all have different recollections of the same event in a family, like
right.
And one kid's experience of a parent is just so different from another kid's. I don't know, it's just bizarre.
Oh, at one point I said to Russ, how was it being an only child? And he said it was great. It's great. And as he's one of 6, but he had an entirely different childhood. So no, I didn't. But then I flew to New York. And I didn't know, like, this is my first time working at the Comedy Cellar.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how avails worked. I didn't know how finding out about gigs worked. I didn't know how about traveling between clubs worked. So I have 10 sets at the stand for these 2 weekends. And then I have a couple of alti shows that I'm doing. I'm doing one on Wednesday at a bowling alley in Greenpoint called Gutter. And that's this Wednesday. That's tonight when this goes up. I'll be in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, 9 p.m. show, hipster cool alti show at a bowling alley called Gutter. And then Thursday I'm doing a debate show, though hopefully Dave Hill's going to introduce me to Dick Cavett on Thursday.
What?
Ooh.
I know. I'm really that's why I've come. It's because Dave Hill told me he would introduce me to Dick Cavett. And then I was like, well, let's do a bunch of sets. And so anyway, so I get to New York on Saturday at like noon. I felt like you. So I go and I check in, and then my first set is at the Cellar at 7:45. And then my second, third, and fourth sets are at the stand starting at 8:15. Well, the Cellar was too tight turnaround. Yeah, it was too tight. I got to the stand at 8:30, but I texted them and I was like, "Can I switch with somebody?" But my first set at the Cellar, I've never played the Cellar before, and I was too much in my head, Laurie Kilmartin.
Yeah.
And I in the middle of my set, I kind of froze.
Oh,
and
fuck.
Yeah. And then I regrouped and kept doing stand-up comedy, it turns out. And then it was over. But it wasn't a great set. And, I'm quite honestly used to being carried off stage and there being a small parade. So I am. So I was so mad. I was so mad. And, and then I had sat at the table and talked to Esty and Colin Quinn. So I had to follow Colin Quinn.
Oh, nice.
And
shit. Yeah. And okay. I mean,
that was fun.
Come on.
Hilariously, Colin at the table, it's just the three of us are sitting there, and Colin goes, "You know who was sitting at that table right next door was the Dream lineup. It was me," and then he named 3 other comics, and I was like, "What I love about that story, Colin, is that you think my Dream lineup has you in it." He was like, and then he said, and Ryan Hamilton was sitting over here, and I was like, yeah, put Ryan Hamilton at that table, because that is one of my dreams, because I fucking love Ryan Hamilton. So he is a baby and has since lapped me in his career, but I like him anyway. Anyway,
really, a male comic lapping us in their careers, Jackie? How does it happen?
How have we heard of it? I know.
So did you massage Esty enough so that she forgave you for not completely crushing?
Oh, I think so. At one point, so yesterday I did the brunch show, which was at 2:30 in the afternoon. Wow. And then I did an 8 p.m.
Was it full?
Sold out.
Oh my fucking God. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
They're all sold out. Yeah. And quite honestly, those the first good set I had at the Cellar last night was last night at 8:00, and she didn't see it. But I have a set tonight at the Cellar at 12:35 a.m.
Sure.
Hell yeah.
That feels like New York. And then tomorrow I have a 9:00 at the Fat Cat Pussycat, Tuesday, and then Wednesday at the Gutter.
Yeah.
Fat Black, whatever, Fat Black Pussycat. And then Thursday I'm doing a debate show with Kevin Allison and Mike Kaplan.
Fun.
Hopefully. Yeah, and then Friday and Saturday I have stand sets each night. And then, but Esty was like, well, did you say you're going to be in next weekend? I'm giving you sets for those too. And I said, oh, I picked up a bunch of other sets. And she just looked at me and I said, yeah, I didn't know. And she goes, well, send me when you can do it and I'll fill you in. And I said, okay. And I guess I find out tomorrow, Tuesday, if she's done such a thing. And by the way, everyone's in town. last night I finally had a good set. So that afternoon, Pete Lee was in him and Chad Daniels are the generation under me from at Acme.
Yeah.
And they have both, of course, lapped me as well. I've been lapped by baby male comics all week. So
How about all career? I mean, come on. Yeah.
Right. Though I did yesterday at so Pete comes and people are drinking at the early show, and Pete's only in town for yesterday, and he's doing 4 sets. And then there's bagels and there's brioche, and then Estee's like, you've got to get these lemon curd pancakes. So I had all of the carbs. And then before I went on stage for the brunch set, she walked by me and jammed a piece of brioche into my face, and I was like, is this what's happening? And then I went up and I did okay, but then second show was at 8 p.m. last night. This is the one I did well at, and Pete saw that, and I was psyched because Pete saw my okay set at brunch. Yeah. And Aaron Jackson also came and hung out, and then we went for dinner after. I fucking love Aaron Jackson. I got to see her do a set. I got to see Ophira do a set. I hung out at the table before my 8 o'clock set with Akeem Woods and Jay Jordan.
Oh my God, Jay Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah, they're 2 younger black gay comics. Super funny, both of them. Smart as fuck.
I don't think I know it, but Jay's very active on Twitter. He's very funny.
Yeah, and then there was drama. The first show, I had to follow a guy named Greer Barnes.
Oh my God, Greer murders. Right?
Murders. Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
Sound effects, silly, smart, all of it. Yeah. Right?
So
guy
likable.
In the third,
so likable. So relaxed. I mean, yeah.
During his set, 15-minute set, some banana head in the 4th row yells out, "Try harder," to Greer Barnes, who I don't know, but when you meet Greer Barnes, you go, oh, this guy is a murderer. This guy is an amazing comic. And then you watch him and you're like, wow, how come I've never heard of this guy? He should be famous. And he also looked like a guy who didn't lose his temper very easily, and he snapped. And all of a sudden, by the way, 3 people, like the manager and 2 people, ran downstairs to talk to this guy. And this guy, I guess, when he came upstairs, he was like, I am so sorry. I must have had Tourette's. I'm so sorry. And
wow.
Yeah. So that was weird.
Right.
Though. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Andy Haynes was there.
Oh, nice.
And that was everyone was talking about Saturday Night Live. Did you see Saturday Night Live?
I watched the monologue, Shane Gillis's monologue.
Okay.
Yeah. It was good.
I heard it was okay. Yeah.
He did. I think he did better than he thought he did. Like, he kind of referenced that he thought he was bombing, and it sounded fine, and he ended up getting some big laughs. But the way he very quickly described the setup is the entire audience is lit. You're looking into the faces of who knows what celebrities, etc. You know what I mean? Like, it's very intimidating. Yeah. It's live. The world is watching, and then there's the band behind you. It's really a horrible setup for stand-up. So but I thought it's material I'd seen him do before, and I guess he was told just do your old stuff because most people don't know who you are, and so yeah, I thought it was better than he seemed to think it was.
Okay. Well, good. And I think the line that Andy Haynes said that he really liked was, he said, I was fired from this job. Don't Google why.
Yeah.
And that was funny. That was very, very fun. That sounds. Yeah. And then I guess he was in almost every sketch, and he did very well.
I didn't watch
is what Andy Haynes also said.
I did see one thing cut where I'm not a total sketch fiend, but I will watch the highlights over the course of the week.
Yeah.
Not my go-to.
They'll come up. It'll come up in the feed.
Yes.
And
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, so then I went to the stand and I hung out with Bonnie McFarlane.
Oh,
and
cool.
that was neat. Yep. And I saw a bunch of comics. There was a bunch of people that I know I should have recognized and I didn't recognize. One guy was super nice. Because I was telling him that I'd had kind of a hard set at the Cellar that I wasn't that psyched about. And that's me understating how not psyched I was about it, by the way. And he must have gotten that because he kept going, well, just have fun on this one. Just have fun on this one. It's just stand up, Jackie. Just have fun. And he said it so many times I wanted to actually stab him with a pen. I was like, you have to stop saying that because I don't want to get in my head about that. And I was downstairs and I was upstairs and I was downstairs again. And here's the weird thing. 15-minute sets are different than 12-minute sets, which is what everybody gets in LA.
Right.
So that 3 minutes actually has a little bit of a different vibe to it.
Yeah.
And then plus I also do this thing in New York where I think I need to be super aggressive and the audience is confused, especially when they're tourists because they're just nice people trying to see a comedy show. They don't need to be yollered at. It's just going to be fine. They're all right.
Yeah. Well, that sounds really fun. So was your first New York set a Cellar set?
Yes.
So I would say next time, don't do that.
Yeah.
You know,
get
your
try to
sea
organize
legs on a non-Cellar set, and then
get my sea legs on something where it's not that there's
lower
no stakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And this is not to belittle any other room. And then I was given a small wad of cash every club I went to, which I thoroughly enjoy.
It's it's a shocker when you have been in LA for a while and then you go back to New York and do sets and you're like and like I've left without money, I've forgotten, you know. It's unbelievable.
Aaron said that Aaron Jackson last night we went to dinner at the pho place and she didn't have a set yesterday. I was very flattered she came in from New Jersey to have dinner with me.
Nice.
Because I always feel like I like her so much better than she likes me. She's such a great comic.
Did she drive in or take a train?
She did drive. But she she writes for the
toll and
right?
Okay.
She writes for the Upshaws.
Oh, yeah. Right. It's on Netflix.
And okay. And I don't watch enough or any sitcoms, but she's such a great comic. I got to see her set on Saturday. That was awesome. But she dropped her cash and they found it. And I think it was Liz, whoever the manager was who paid her, remembered that she was the only one who got paid in a big bill. So she gave it to her on Sunday when she came in.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank God they found it.
Yeah. And then this morning I had breakfast because everyone's in town. I ran into KP Anderson and his wife.
Oh, wow.
KP, a Minneapolis comic who produced Talk Soup for 1,000 Generations with Joel McHale. And they were just in town hanging. And then I, this morning, had brunch with Ron Vai and his husband, Elijah.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. And then tonight Vegas? I'm going to have, he was working the Philly Punchline.
Oh, cool. Right on.
And then I'm having dinner with Danielle Perez and Joel Johnson.
Jesus. It's all happening.
Right. And I have, and then I have 3 friends from college who are in town. My nephew and my great nephew are in Brooklyn. And my ex-sister-in-law was there too, but I missed, she was only in town yesterday. So, but I'm hoping to see Paul and my great nephew this week. And family and friends.
The busyness of your schedule is giving me the hives. I can't imagine all these extra, like to me, seeing people at a comedy club is enough stimulation, and then I need to hide under the covers.
I was socialed out in between the brunch one and my 8 o'clock set. I was like, because there were all afternoon shows all day. All day there were shows
at the Cellar. There were afternoon shows
at the Cellar.
Like they start at brunch and they just keep going till like 2 a.m.
They just keep going. Yeah.
Holy fuck, that's like Branson, or even more than Branson.
And
wow.
she told me that they just bought the theater at the McDonald's on the corner. So there's going to be a 5th room on McDougal.
Wait, did they buy the McDonald's? They're going to convert the McDonald's? Or is there a theater next to the McDonald's?
Didn't get enough. I think there's a theater, I think, above it, or they've got the whole building. Don't know.
Holy
Can't know.
Shit. Holy shit.
Literally, I was just sitting there trying to absorb the fact that, and I was talking to Esty, and I was like, I said, the history of this place is ridiculous, and I'm trying not to be intimidated and just remember that it's just fucking stand-up. And she was like, yes. And she's like, there is a lot of history.
Her to make you feel more comfortable. Look elsewhere.
She did
That's
okay,
not her
though.
personality.
And, right. Well, and I literally, lucky for me, I just kept forgetting who she was. And so I just kept talking to her as a person. So it was quite honestly a gift, because I kept forgetting and she kept being surprised that I kept forgetting. So it was a perfectly, I think, interesting. So she was very nice. And but then there was a guy who used to host it 20 years. He said he was the host, and now he teaches stand up there.
Was it Rick Crow? Was it Artie Fuqua?
Yes, Rick. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Does he still do sets there?
Yeah, he was doing sets. And but he was one of those guys, there's guys our age and older. And it's not the worst thing in the world, but it always sets my back up a little bit when he goes, well, I've been doing it since 84. And it just makes me go, yeah, me too.
Well, Jackie, you look young. Rick is
that's because Kyle puts the blur on, so I appreciate that.
Rick is gay, and he was out early enough to have it harm his career. So
frick.
there's some people that got fucked by society, but he's very funny and super likable. He also plays piano and was just like, he was a great comic, great host. That's cool. I'm glad he's still around and he's like teaching stand up. What hours? Like at 7 a.m. Is that when the club isn't doing a show or?
Right. I don't know where he's teaching it, and I don't know when he's teaching it. It is. Yeah. It's a trip. What'd you do this week? Should we do comic of the week and then you could talk about your week?
Yeah, I could just talk in general. Yes.
Okay.
No,
Let's
I
take a break.
understand. It's a New York week. I get it.
And now let's do comic of the week. You picked her.
Okay.
She sounds amazing.
So, this lady, I remember hearing about her, when I was starting. She was an LA comic. She was of the Carrie Snow era, like those headliners that were out there, the first female headliners, running around. And her name is Karen Haber. And she's one of those people where I'm like, I know that name. And what happened to her? There's many comics where you're like, what happened to them? Well, Karen quit for a long time, and she raised her kids, and she's back. So I met her at Flappers, and her name, I rang in my head. She also has she has a voice. She has like a really high squeaky voice. And so I just like talking to her before she's on stage, so I was like, oh yeah, I can this woman she's oozing stand-up comedy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
She
Yeah,
just has
yeah.
she speaks in timing, and she's got a voice like a squeaky voice, right? And
Mm-hmm.
she had said she got back into it, and she goes, I bombed at 200 open mics so I could get better and come back, right? So she did
Okay.
about a year
She
of
grind.
eating shit again, like she did it the first time in
Right.
probably the late 70s or whatever, right? So
Yep. Right.
she went up, and I was like, oh, good luck, old gal. And then she goes up and crushes. She's
That's so
funny.
cool.
Bam, 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 bam. Really, really sharp, funny, and just she has whatever she had before. She still has it.
Right.
And she
Right.
did great. So if you
Ugh.
can, find Karen Haber, she's bopping around LA doing spots and getting back in the groove. But I'm telling you, she is so castable. She's an older.
Yeah.
Her kids are older. I don't know if she's a grandma yet, but I could see her in a sitcom. She's really
Yeah.
funny, and she's just, you can see the years of experience, even though she took some time off. I guess she put in so much time when she was here, it held, it
Yeah.
stuck. It stuck in her bones.
Oh wow.
So
That's
fine.
Karen Haber comic,
Haber,
right?
yeah, Haber, and find some of her early stuff. I'm sure she did Evening at the Improv and all that crap, right? That was
Yeah.
peaking in the late 80s, early 90s. And then if you have a chance, check her out in LA.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So Karen Haber comic. So what'd you do this week? Week and a half.
So I thought I had a spot on Friday. I wrote something on my wall. I have like a wall calendar on the fridge. And I have given myself many opportunities to keep a better calendar. I bought a little book that used to write in, like before we had smartphones, right?
Yeah.
I have many calendar apps on my phone. I cannot seem to type a set in. So what I started doing in COVID was I would just write it on the fridge. That's my thing. So I wrote 7, and then I wrote some words I couldn't understand for Friday, and no one was tagging me. I'm like, what the fuck? And
I saw that post.
I posted on Twitter on Thursday. I posted again. I retweeted. And I'm like, I still haven't heard anything. I put it up on Instagram. Nothing. I didn't hear from anybody. So I don't know what it was. I don't know if I may have written it on the wrong day and forgot to erase it. Anyway, I had a nervous night on Friday, and by 8 o'clock, I was like, well, someone would have contacted me if I'd missed a show. So my son and I just watched more Fear of the Walking Dead. It's always fine to hang out with my kids. So
yeah.
And then I had spots here and there. I did a Don't Tell, just a set. It wasn't like recorded for video or anything at in the OC at a city called Lakewood at a fitness center. The OC ones tend to be in CrossFits, but they're fun, and so that was cool.
They got 100 chairs and some lights. Yeah,
that's all they need, and it's fucking packed. I mean, what an insane business model. They don't tell you where it is. They tell you the city, but they don't tell you where until like the day before. So I think if you're an audience member, it just feels like a speakeasy kind of thing. And then it's way cheaper. There's no drink money. There's no drinks. I mean, there's water.
It was BYOB, the one I did in Chicago, and it's always $25, but you can bring your own beverages, and it's
that's
usually
really cheap
good parking
compared to most clubs, So it's going to get that audience that would rather do that than go to have a full meal at a comedy club and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was fun, and I did little sets here and there, and have some more tags. My JetBlue story is expanding, much like the girth of the penis of the man that was jerking off next to me during that story. That also expanded. I did
tumescence. What's the word I'm thinking of?
I don't know. I did Will Anderson's podcast, and he said very nice things about you and me, and I was like shocked, and then later I cried. because they were so
Oh my
nice.
gosh.
Yes.
Aw,
So I'm just
that
not
is very,
used to being.
he's such a good guy.
Yeah, he is a good guy, and it's whatever. I'm used to fighting for every scrap here, like a junkyard dog, and then when someone who doesn't think you should have to live that way tells you that, you're like, oh, thank you. Well, you're on another continent, unfortunately, so I can't. I'll still
Right.
be living this way here, but
I'm working on an Australian run. When I finally pull the trigger, I'll do it and then I'll hand it off to you. There you go.
yeah, I mean, again, when when I'm able to be away for longer amounts of time, I'm very excited.
Well, and
Very
the thing
excited.
is you could bring the young man.
Oh yeah, that seems very affordable, Jackie. To Australia?
Well, right, but the thing is you would go together. It would also be it'd be a working trip, but then he'd get to go to Australia.
Right, if he's not in school.
And
It
you'd
would
get
have
to
to be
go.
at
I mean, it would
a
be,
specific time. Yes.
Maria's going to Australia. And I said,
Mhm.
oh, do you need any? And she was like, I'm bringing Scott. We're also not going to make any money. And so like, she's just going to go with her husband. They're going to go. And then she picked up a set or two she's working on getting a set in New Zealand
Oh, cool.
so that they could also go there. Yeah.
Well, let me just
It's all
throw it
right
out there.
offable.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. I do have to make money though, Jackie. I can't always be,
Oh, I know.
breaking
The
even.
mama, Andy's mama, is home from the hospital.
Yay.
Okay, that's good.
Yay. Yep. And she's feeling good about it. And yeah. So I don't know what will happen, but she's home. That's great.
Yeah. So this weekend I
Yeah.
am, if you're in Los Angeles, I'm at the Lab. I'm doing Stuart Thompson's show on Friday night, 9:45.
Oh,
and then
fun.
Saturday I'm doing Comedy and Magic, the 6 and 8 p.m. shows. And
Right.
then all week I'll be chained to my laptop clipping. Okay?
Oh my God, exactly.
Because I got this ad.
How many
for
sets do you have?
Jackie, I have a bajillion sets. Especially the last 3 or 4 years. I just there's little things in every single one. Like I said,
Okay.
to clip to get an hour set, it takes me at least 90 minutes just to pull it, and then whatever. It's a nightmare.
Right.
But
Right.
but they're doing well, and they start to bring in followers. Okay, I guess it's worth
Yeah.
it. And I can't hand it to somebody else because I don't know what they're going to do. If I say just get the crowd work, it might be more work for me to teach someone what a joke is versus the crowd work. You know what I mean? Than just doing it myself.
Yeah.
I sometimes I see myself doing things, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't do that, or I should do that, or whatever.
Well, who was I talking? I was thinking I might have been talking to Aaron about it, about how great this must be for your act. I mean, because you're hearing your jokes. You're doing the thing we're all supposed to do, which is listen to our sets.
I do. Once I start a chunk, I pull out another device and tweet, and then hopefully my brain hears when I deviate. So I'm not like
yeah,
but yeah, it's not bad. I do like the I when I would do remote, do anything that was a taped piece on Conan, we would sit with the editor. You just go and sit,
Yep.
right? And you go more or less, and then their hands move really quickly, and then they make that happen. I mean, it's amazing sitting with a professional editor, and they've got 7 different they have camera angles, and they're blah, 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 blah. And then if you change your mind, they just do one keystroke, and everything's back to normal, or half of it's back to normal,
Wow.
like how you wanted it. And
wow,
it's so time consuming on whatever thing you're working on here.
Right. It turns out it's a learned skill, and people that have learned it are really, really cool to watch.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds amazing.
And then I started Melanie, I have one more session with her. She's been great, and just really.
She is great. Yeah.
The other thing I noticed is lately men have told me that they looked me up on YouTube, and that's why they came to the show. And of course,
Okay.
all my negative comments on YouTube are from men, but I think more men are on YouTube than they are on Instagram. Oh,
I
that's
think you're
my
smart to
sense.
do these YouTube shorts, man. The
Yeah,
YouTube
so
shorts I was
and I'm
told were
doing
really great.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm doing the shorts and I'm doing longs. So like every time I have like a something that's a reel, like if you'll see, I have like 3 or 4 reels from with the same outfit, right? And that might
Yeah.
be from a 5 or 6 minute chunk that of crowd work that's on YouTube. And some men watch the whole thing, and I'm getting more
Yeah.
subscribers on YouTube. So I don't know.
I think, yeah. Yeah, you inspired me to actually post a short on YouTube today.
Oh, there you go.
I hope it changes my life. Yes.
Oh, but also like it's thumbnails are important, like the cover graphic on YouTube, right? And my son is like
Right.
obsessed with thumbnails, not in any way helping me, of course, but
Right.
but
Well, right. I mean, I don't know what's the thumbnail supposed to look like.
well, there's like there's this guy on YouTube. You know, I'm way up in the Sussex's royal family type of thing, right? Jackie, I'll just keep talking. You do look like you're camping right now.
I
Under
want to
a
get
cloudy
cozy for
sky.
some reason. I need to
Okay.
get cozy. Okay.
So, like this guy will post, picture of Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and be like, uh, terrifying in like giant yellow letters. And of course, you have to click. What it is, this guy's a genius. It's a 5-minute video where he is just repeating shit that I have read on tweets. I'm like, I know exactly what tweet you got that from. But at the same time, I like hearing it out loud from somebody and not being the only cuckoo that's reading these things. So all he does is tell me shit I have already heard. And he has 2 ad breaks in the middle of it. And then he'll do another one. And I'm like, this guy is, I know he's making a shitload of money. He opens with like and subscribe, guys. Or what? That's not his British accent, but it's some version of that. But
wait, are you doing ads? Are you monetized on YouTube?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. So
my YouTube is broken, so it won't let me. My Google account. So, but I'm hoping to fix it.
Yeah, I got to the 4,000 subscriber mark. I went up about 1,000 in the past couple of months. So I hit 3, and then I made a little bit of money, and then I just
amazing.
stopped,
Yeah.
I mean, it tells you.
I just got $11 from Facebook.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes, exactly. There's a cup of coffee.
I have
at the fancy Italian coffee shop. Yeah.
I have too many. I have like a personal page on Facebook, and then I have 2. One of them is an old fan page I couldn't break into, so I started a new one. So now I have 2 fan pages, and Facebook doesn't let you consolidate. It's just a mess over there. I don't know what I'm posting to.
Right.
Whatever. But anyway, so that's just my life now. I do that. Everything takes way longer.
Yeah. I hard agree. Yeah. I'm trying. I actually made a set list of all of the new premises that I'm working on yesterday, because I was like, I would like to actually work on these new premises. And I didn't even make it through my notebook, because what I did was I started at the beginning of my notebook, and then I just took a piece of paper and I just wrote new premises, and I just started writing them down. I covered both sides.
Oh.
And it was a small piece of paper, right? But I didn't even make it to the end of the used part of the notebook. So I have all of these different angles. And then I just have some funny words that are making me laugh right now. Object impermanence, babies, peekaboo. That's making me laugh.
Sure.
That made me laugh today. I was like, I don't know what to do with it, but by God, I'm going to do something with it.
Yeah. So
when are you on the road again?
Let's see. Next week I'm opening for Gary.
Why
Coleman.
don't I hear you?
You don't hear me? Do you hear me? Shall we use this as like an ad break or something?
These last 15 minutes will be a different file, Kyle, and it's because now I'm just shouting into the internet. I think that's important.
Yeah. I'm having to lower you. My God, you're coming in my pods hot. So I'm opening for Gary Gullman at the Salt Lake City room. I get to practice being clean.
Wise
And not
guys?
talking to the crowd. Yeah, Wise Guys. I'm sure it's like a 20-minute set or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's cool. It's always it's always good to practice other shit, So I'll be doing that. And then that's a Friday through Sunday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. And then the following
Okay.
week, I'm doing like this hodgepodge. On the 14th, I'm in DC at Improbable Comedy, which you did a while ago for a lady named Kim, right? Does that sound familiar? Okay.
I remember
And
that. Yes.
and then I'm doing a winery, and I think you can buy tickets to it. I wasn't sure if it was private or not, but I'm doing a winery on Friday night, and then Saturday I'm taking a train to New York, and I'm going to do a bunch of spots at the Stand on Saturday night. Here's the thing: I was gonna like take the 11 o'clock train back to New York, but then this I read about a play in Brooklyn, starring Tobias Menzies. Who did you ever watch Outlander?
I tried to read it. I tried to
Okay.
watch it. There was too much time travel. Okay.
Wow. Well, he plays two characters. He plays a gay psychopathic rapist from the 1700s. And then he plays that person's like great grandson, right? And very different characters, and he's amazing. He also played Prince Philip in one incarnation of The Crown. So he's in a play called The Hunt. I bought a ticket for it. Now I have to wake up really early and change my Amtrak and come in early. But I was like, I got to see this. So Saturday is going to be a tough day because I'm taking a train from DC to New York. Then I'm going to go to Harlem, drop my stuff off, then go to see a play in Brooklyn, and then do 5 spots at the Stand. Then I come back on Sunday. Then the next week, I'm going to Chicago and I'm at the Lincoln Lodge on Wednesday the 20th. That is a door deal, so please show the fuck up. Let's do this, Chicago. I did Bob and Tom this week to promote it.
Wow.
I had to wake up at 5 a.m. because they're East Coast time. That was tough, Jackie. And,
Yes, is amazing. She got you Bob and Tom?
Oh yeah. And it was quick, but it was fun. And then I do that in Chicago, and then Thursday through Saturday I'm in Ann Arbor at the Comedy Showcase. That'll be my 3rd trip to Michigan this year. Yeah. Michigan and we are simpatico. So come on out, Ann Arbor. And I'm bringing my son with me because it's spring break. So we're going to see Chicago a little bit and
maybe
University of Michigan.
A Wolverine. Maybe he'll want to go to college.
I mean, we'll have to see what the arts program is. I've said on stage, he's not the grades guy. He's a constant drawer, but
he's an art guy.
It shouldn't always be focused on grades. All right, we need artists, guys. Anyway.
Yeah. So all right, I love that you're responding to someone attacking you that no one's being. Yes. He's a really good artist.
I think I'm talking to the voice in my head that's like, oh my God, he's getting a C. That's who I'm talking to.
Right, I think your parents are haunting you is what's happening there. And
yeah. So that's my March, and then further on out, I'm going back to New York for a week in April, so I'll be having some hangout time, and then Dayton, Ohio, and Burlington, Vermont Comedy Club in Burlington later on in the spring, and of course Portland. Nice. I'm at Helium. That's a door deal. Please show up, Portland. It's June 6th or 5th. I'll double check. I'll let you know.
Are you doing a Thursday, a Wednesday, a Thursday or something?
It's one of I think I'm doing a Wednesday because Thursday I'm doing Livewire with for NPR. So
Yeah.
I'm just getting in a day early to do helium. But I feel like this is like a test to see, how many people I can bring in. And they're going to study the seed engine chart and see what the ticket sales were and all that fucking shit to see if they'll work me at other heliums. So guys, if you're in Portland, I'm begging you, please come to the show. If you're in Corvallis, sorry, don't want to hurt the Corvallis comedy scene, but drive up, okay? Please. Come on out. I got a lot of new shit and I'll fuck around with you and it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm doing Vegas twice in March. Next week, I'm
That's a lot.
there at the in Comedy Cellar 7 days.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the month, I'm going to open for Brian Regan at whatever hotel he's at.
Oh, neat.
I think it's
Cool.
his first time doing Vegas, which makes me think that he's
Wow.
going to. Remember last week I was telling you that he might be getting a conspiracy or conscription or whatever.
Residency.
A residency? What on
Yeah,
earth is happening to you?
Yeah, my words are going south. It's a bit of a
Jackie.
disappointment.
You know what though? What if I always thought if you can get a residency in Vegas, you could fly out every day and fly back home on Southwest. You wouldn't have to live there. It would be
Barry
like
Manilow
you
does
leave
it.
it. Yeah, 2 p.m, come back at midnight. That's like a 10-hour day, and you can
You know who would
live
hate
your
that?
life.
The part of Laurie Kilmartin that recycles would hate that.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
saying it's Southwest. I'm not taking private jets like Taylor Swift.
Do that. Yeah. Or Barry
it's,
Manilow does a private jet back home every night to Palm Springs.
Wow,
That'd be pretty cool.
So
that's not good.
it's not just Taylor Smith. It's Swift or whatever.
Swift.
Smith?
Oh my God. I don't know.
I understand
but-
he's a very popular musician.
And I guess Travis Kelsey visited her in Australia, then came back and was seen partying with ladies in Las Vegas. I'm saying I think she had some fun. The dating a football hero, that's got to be fun for the season, especially when they're headed to the Super Bowl and they win. And now you're done. I think she's too big for him.
Do you think they broke up?
Yeah, I do. I think it's going to wind down.
Oh,
They're not going to get married. Those two careers cannot combine. It's not possible. It's not.
Okay. Well,
I hope she remains a dating unmarried woman for a long time, just to let everyone know that you can live like that too.
Yeah. And she's 32. So
yeah.
There's going to be some police.
She's our age.
Emotionally. But I picked up a week at Comedy on State in August. And I've been trying to email Vermont about getting in Vermont. I should probably talk to the attic because I think I'm due to maybe do the attic in fall as well. So yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, but I can't. I feel like like this time away, I'm just kind of juggling a lot of, and I'm also trying to figure out the home stuff. So
yeah, I mean, some clubs are behind in bringing me back, and I don't know if they decided they hated me. It's weird. I would have thought after the special and all this promo, I would have a fuller calendar. But like I just contacted Heather. She's like, "Oh yeah. Don't worry, I'm just behind." So I'm like, "All right." I'm very quick to think they've turned against me and are in a club.
Right.
And
I
WhatsApp
pinged Molly over at the
they hate me.
Punchline. Yeah, I pinged, and she said, "Perfect time. Let me hook you up." And then it's been 2 weeks of crickets. So, I don't know what's happened, but all I can do is just continue to do stand-up comedy. So
yeah, same. I wonder if we should all book a club for a week just so we can see the amount of emails they get and maybe not get, or maybe I should not get so defensive every time I'm like asking and worrying that I always just think the worst has happened.
Yeah, always. I also I was talking to Ron Vi today. He's doing a very small club. There's a new club outside the Bay Area.
Oh, the Deaf Puppy. Yes, in Manteca.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to call that guy. Marcella just opened it, and she said it was great.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ron said it was super new. I didn't know it
Yeah.
was that new because he said Marcella
Yeah, like last week. Like they might be on week 2 or 3 right now. Yeah.
Well, I hope they make it. And
Me too. I mean, there's nothing else out there like a full week. That's a place where like the classic you did your Red Lion one-nighters in Modesto, Manteca, Stockton, Lodi, all that kind of stuff. And then you went back to San Francisco and had all your jokes about Modesto, Stockton, Lodi, Manteca, But it's a full Central Valley, community, and obviously comedy is hella popular. And I'm sure it would. I hope it does really great.
Yeah, me too. It's I'm looking forward to I don't know, there's part of me that just wants to sit down with my calendar, but there's another part of me that never wants to sit down with my calendar. And then there's a part of me that wants to just sit down with my notebook and then go up on stage and not have any stakes and just get to work on all of these new premises. And so, of those two things, guess which I want to do more? The thing with my
latter.
notebook. Spoiler alert. Yeah, it's going to be that.
Hey, I forgot. We are doing a show at Flappers, another live Jackie and Laurie. Our guests are former Comics of the Week, Aparna Nancherla, who was just a featured guest star on Abbott Elementary. Jenny Yang, who's in the Brothers Son, I think. I forget what it. She's on Netflix. Okay.
Netflix.
And who else? Who else was it? Oh, Felicia Michaels. Yes. Yeah. Felicia Michaels. The great Felicia Michaels, a longtime comic of the week. She's our age. She's a great mother. And she is, I don't know why I'm saying she's a great mother, but I mean, like, she has such funny shit about her kids. And I love it, because her kids are a couple years older than me. And she gave me great parenting advice about how actually the teen years are not, they're not the cakewalk everyone looks like they're going to be. And so that's a really great show. Aparna, Felicia, and Jenny. And you and me. So come out for that on March 18th, if you can.
March 18th, which is a Monday. And then it's at 8 p.m. at Flappers. And that'll be super fun. I'm also doing Uncab, and then there's a Max Fun, some sort of Max Fun alert thing that we're doing. Right. And then I'm also I'm taking advantage of the Sticker Mule, $19 for 50 stickers. And
man, I grabbed out of control, Jackie. Yeah.
So I did a sticker with your face on it for the Patreon $10 and above. I can't wait to show it to you.
Oh, I can't wait either. So it's at the end of March where we do that one again, right?
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
And then if you are a 5 and up Patreon, we did do an interview with Ashley Ray, and she has an album coming out March 1st, which is this Friday, called Ice Cream Money. So our stance. If you can, buy the album, don't just stream it, but definitely stream it, listen to it. We want to support our lady comics.
Right. Last week and this week, there are two comics. I don't know if they've both been comics of the week, but Palufo? Caitlin Palufo?
Okay. She has, in fact.
She has. And Jackie, you ask me every 3 months if she's been a comic of the week. She has.
She is your favorite comedian, Jackie.
All right. Well, she is on this week's Dork Forest as well. And she has a new album out called, I think, Dirty Bird. And you should all buy that one
super
too.
Funny.
She was
super funny.
I watched. Yeah, she's super funny.
So funny.
I think it's been an hour.
It absolutely has.
What do you think, Kyle?
I think they are home free.